Tyrone Holmes, the founder and CEO of the Minister of Fidelis. We welcome you back to the Trauma Network for Men. We are so glad to be back with you again on this week. We hope that you had an awesome week on last week, and I know Memorial Day weekend was here. We hope that you had a great time with your family and your friends, and everything was safe and everything worked out good for you. So we're back again. We get ready to start a brand new topic on this evening. If you've been following us on Twitter as well as on Facebook, you have been getting the call letters, or I would say the updates on what we're going to be talking about. And we're going to be starting something very, very new for the next 4 weeks, really for the next 5 weeks. We're going to be dealing with some very, very, very powerful things that we as men we need to address, and certain things that we talk about in the community of men, we don't talk about with other people. And we really don't talk about it with anybody else. We may talk about it within ourselves, but as far as talking with each other, we're not going to do that. So first I want to welcome back Brother Josh. Good to have you, brother. God bless you, man. Good to have you back again. Brother Dwight has been out. I think he's having some family problems, so we're looking forward to having him back real soon, and Brother E as well. And we just ask you to continue to support us, continue to follow us on Facebook, on Twitter. Like I said, you can reach out to us on our hotline at 919-717-5820, or you can just go to our Facebook page or our website and just email us, and I'll get right back to you. I know we're going to have some problems if you have tried to call us on the hotline. They may have some problems with the phone. I'm trying to get those issues straightened out. So please, if you can't get through on the phone, or I don't get the message back or whatever, just go on our website and just email us at info.menarsimplified@gmail.com, and I will get back to you. I will email you right back, because it comes right to my phone, and I can email back to you, or if you leave a phone number, I can call you right back as soon as I get the message. So we're so glad to have you again, and we thank you for being with us tonight. Very, very powerful. For the next 4 weeks, we're going to be dealing with a very powerful message that I think we need to address, Brother Josh. We all as men suffer in this area. I don't care who we are. If you are a man, or quote unquote so-called man, physically state if you got a penis. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. We're just gonna be out front with it. If you have that, you're gonna have this problem. You're gonna have this problem. So today, what we're gonna start dealing with is gonna be, it's entitled "Every Man's Battle: Winning the War on Sexual Temptation, One Victory at a Time." Every man's battle. This is every man's battle that we're dealing with. Now, what we're going to do in the next 4 weeks, tonight, we're going to break this up into 4 separate broadcasts. Tonight, we're going to deal with sexual addiction. All right? Sexual addiction is going to be tonight's broadcast. On next week, we're going to be dealing with the gratification through the eyes. Gratification through the eyes, okay? Because we as men, we are moved by what we see. Yes, sir. We move, we're attracted to what we see. Thirdly, and a week after that, we're going to deal with masturbation. It's a symptom, not the root. All right, masturbation. And then in 4 weeks, we're going to be dealing with controlling your thoughts for sexual purity. So 1 tonight, starting off with sexual addiction. Broadcast number 2 will be gratification through the eyes. Broadcast number 3 will be masturbation, a symptom, not the root. And then lastly, controlled thoughts for sexual purity. That's what we're going to be dealing with. So we're going to get started tonight. Just open your ears, be attentive, because we're really going to get down tonight. We're going to get down and dirty. And that's what we have to do, because it's the only way we're going to get the message out and get the message across, to let you know that we as men, even though we may say that we're strong, we are struggling with a lot of problems in our lives. So Brother Josh is going to start off reading the scripture for us, and then we're going to get down into our conversation for tonight. Brother Josh.
No temptation has ever overtaken you that is not common to man. God is faithful. Yes. And he will not let you be tempted beyond your ability. But with the temptation, he will also provide the way of escape, that you may be able to endure. 1 Corinthians 10:13.
What is that scripture? When you read that scripture, Brother Josh, what does that mean to you when you read that? How did that make you feel when you read that?
Glad you asked, brother. It made me feel real good, because God gives you temptations in your life.
Yes. Or he'll allow a temptation to come in your life.
Right. He's faithful.
Yes.
I mean, he knows what he's doing, so he knows what temptation put in front of you.
Yes.
But also, he'll always have that escape.
There you go. And that is the key, Brother Josh, because there's escape in everything we do in life. Because like I always tell my son, with every decision you make, there's going to be a consequence. Whether good or bad. And there's always going to be an escape in that decision. If you make a bad decision, before you make that decision, there's an escape, isn't there? Whether I'm going to go with my friends and I'm going to do this, I don't care what the consequences is, but I'm going to do it anyway. But you always, before anybody makes a decision to do something, there's always an out. If it's a bad decision, if it's a good decision, that's fine. Because you know you're going to be rewarded for that. But if it's a bad decision, there's always going to be a, yeah, you're going to get punished for it. Exactly right. Now society's going to make you pay. But there's always going to be a door open for you to get out that door before you make that decision.
Yes, sir. There's always been that. Tyrone, good point. There's always been that option to you go. I'm gonna use an analogy. You're on the straight and narrow path.
Yes.
And you make a decision. You got two turns.
That's
you
right.
Take a right and you can take a left.
That's right.
You can go with the right way.
That's right.
And handle your stuff as a man if you're so-called a man.
That's right. That's right.
Or if you go to the right and make a decision, you're gonna have to pay for that decision
That's
sooner
right.
or later down the road.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So that brings us back to the point that that means that we're going to be tempted each and every day of our life as a man.
Yes, sir.
But we got to make the decision. And we talked about this on this past Tuesday when we were talking in our meeting, that if we're going to be tempted, then we have to make a decision whether that temptation is going to pull us closer to that bad decision, or are we going to find our way out? And we talked about this soon. I'm glad it's coming back, because if we don't have a foundation of anything underneath us to help us,
everything we put on top of it is going to fall.
It's going to fall. That's right. Because if we don't have nothing to stand on when that temptation comes, you're going to succumb to that temptation.
Yep.
You're going to come to it. That's right.
I'm going to use another analogy, brother. The man that builds his house on the sand.
That's the scripture. That's right.
If
when the winds beat upon,
I'll put it in my own words. So basically, if you build your house upon the sand,
yes,
and the tidal wave comes, your house is done.
Exactly.
But the man that built his house on the cliff,
that's right,
is going to stand.
That's right.
Because it has a stronger foundation.
There you go. Absolutely.
So anything that you're doing, like, brother, I don't care who you are.
That's right.
You have to have that foundation.
That's right.
If you don't have that foundation, you build stuff on top of it, it's going to fall.
That's right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Powerful statement.
And it's always going to be like that.
That's right.
I don't care whether you're male or female.
That's right.
You have to have that foundation. I'm going to say it's so important. The foundation is everything.
That's right.
If you build a house and you don't have a foundation, what's going to happen to the house?
It's going to fall.
Exactly.
It's going to fall. It's not going to stay. All right. Let's get into some statistics. Go ahead, brother. Go, bro.
So that's another thing that works with your mind too. You got to have a foundation in your mind. Whether you want to do right and build upon the righteousness,
yes,
or you want to choose the bad and keep denying yourself of what you're building upon.
That's right.
Because every time you do something, that foundation falls.
That's right.
But if in your mind that foundation is strong, you're going to keep building up.
That's right. Absolutely. No, that's right. That's powerful, man. Powerful. Let's get into some statistics about men. I think it's very, very powerful that we need to talk about this. Author George Gilder published a book called Sexual Suicide. And it was reported that men commit 90% of the major crimes in our country. Well, it's going to be violent because the crimes are, majority of the crimes that men commit are violent. They are violent crimes. They are violent crimes. 100% of the rapes are committed by men. 95% of the burglaries are committed by men. And men comprise 94% of drunken drivers on the road. That is powerful. 70% of the suicides are committed by men. And we're going to be dealing with this in about another month and a half. We're going to be dealing with the subject about why do men commit suicide. And we're going to deal with that because it's very, very important, because sometimes we get pushed to our limits. Either we're going to strike out in violence, or we're going to get so depressed, and we talked about this Tuesday, we get so depressed or with guilt and shame, and if we feel nobody cares about it, just like the gentleman, the young man in California, Elliot Rodger, committed those crimes and committed himself, he feels that he's worthless. So 9 times out of 10, if you get in that position, there's no other way out, but you feel the enemy's going to get in your mind and say,
so he did kill himself.
Yeah, he killed himself. So,
They were talking about on the news, they weren't sure if he got shot or he shot himself.
He committed suicide. Exactly right.
Yeah, but I gotta say no on that, brother.
Okay, go ahead, brother.
It's really powerful right here when it says 70% of suicides are by men. And I'm gonna ask a question. Why is it 70% of men? Because we as men, we don't talk.
Well,
when we get to the point where we're gonna be talking about this in another broadcast, when we get rejected, when we lose our job, when we lose our family, we get so down in the dumps. We can go three ways. We can go suicide.
Yes.
We can go addiction to drugs.
That's right.
Addiction to alcohol.
That's right.
There's three ways we can go.
Absolutely. That's so true. Absolutely. Powerful statement, Brother Josh. 91% of offenders commit crimes against their family and their children. Now, the chief predators are always seem to be single men that commit these crimes. Our maleness brings a natural, uniquely form of rebellion. We as men, we are naturally rebellious. We rebel because we feel that we're going to do what we want to do. We can go back to our childhood. When I get old, I'm going to do what I want to do. Ain't nobody going to tell me what to do. That's a rebellion. Because we have to realize in society, you're going to have to be accountable to somebody. You're going to have to listen to somebody. Whether you have a job, you're going to listen to that boss man. If not, you're not going to have a job.
Yeah, right.
If you ride the bus and you don't act right, you're going to be kicked off the bus. So whatever we do, men are in a state of rebellion. We got to have a certain type of car, and we're going to do certain things. We're going to do things our way, but 9 times out of 10, in the long run, it hurts us in the long run. That's right, exactly. So as men, we often choose sin simply because we like our own way. And that's how we are being. Because society, there we go again, Brother Josh, the box. There it is again. Society has shaped us that way, so we think that that's the way to go, but in actuality, we are fooling ourselves.
I really like it here, brother. And I pointed this out on Tuesday. It says, as men, we'll often choose sin simply because we like our own way. So Brother Tyrone just hit on that point. But, you know, like he said, when we're a little kid, we got to listen to what mother and father said.
That's right.
But and this is true for me and any male and female, when you hit your teens, you're going to rebel against your mother and father. Because as a man, it's simply because we want to do what we want to do. It's either our way or no way.
That's right.
But as a woman, when you rebel, there's consequences to it. Well, there's consequences to men rebelling too. But see, we'll rebel more than the women. Because eventually the women will come back and talk about why they were rebellious against you. But we as men, we don't do that.
That's right. Exactly.
Because I'm going back to it. It's the man box.
That's right.
When we do something that in the man box, but we step outside of the man box, we get persecuted for whatever we do outside the man box.
That's right.
But see, why are you going to put us in a box? If we step out of the box, you're going to do something. But when we're in the box and we're doing it within the box, you ain't got nothing to say. But when we step outside the box,
it's a double standard,
you got something to say. See, that also goes with the rebellion. See, when I'm going to use an analogy. When I was growing up, I didn't want to do my homework. I hated doing homework. I wasn't good in school. So when I got home, I didn't do my homework. You know what I got? I got put in my room. And you know, and the more and more I got put in my room, the angrier and angrier I got. And one day, Brother Tyrone, I'm not gonna lie to you, me and my dad almost got into a fight, a physical fight, because I wasn't happy.
You're rebellious. You want to do your way. Okay, and I understand that. Okay, now we're going to get into the meat of our broadcast, and we're going to start with that sexual addiction. We're going to get Brother Josh to read something. We're going to really get into this broadcast tonight, so you can really understand what sexual addiction is and what the effects that it can have on our lives and the people around us and how it's going to affect them as well. Brother Josh.
All right. What is an addiction? An addiction is a constellation of unbiblical habits of thinking and acting that have become a lifestyle. When people overemphasize the importance of sex in their lives, it begins to dictate a lifestyle to them, and they become obsessed with the thought of sex. The individual is obsessed with sexual thoughts. Thoughts which interfere with their ability to work properly, have relationships, and go about their daily activity. Many say that sexual addiction is a form of obsessive compulsive disorder. sexual addiction, which is also called sexual dependency,
Yes.
hyposexuality, nymphomania, which is females,
Right.
and psoriasis.
Psoriasis.
So psoriasis is male. Compulsive sexual behavior and sexual compulsivity refers to the phenomenon in which people cannot manage their sexual behavior.
Okay. Now, Josh, let's go back. Now, you said there that it's a constellation of unbiblical thinking and acting that has become a what?
A lifestyle.
A lifestyle. What is a lifestyle? We need to deal with it. What is a lifestyle?
Glad you asked. A lifestyle is something that you're used to. It happens on a daily basis.
Yes.
So us getting up, taking a shower, that's a lifestyle.
That's correct.
Because we're taught how to do that.
Yes.
But see, and I want to say something else along it's kind of out of context a little bit, but I think it's important, brother. Sometimes when people are addicted to pornography, which is what we're talking about today, when people are addicted to pornography, sometimes it's because someone else was looking at pornography and you happened to and watched it and you like what you see. As men, we like what we see.
That's right, exactly.
And when it becomes an addiction, it's so much of a lifestyle, it's so part of your daily routine, like you can't do without it.
Yeah.
So basically, that's what a lifestyle is.
Yeah, exactly. And he's absolutely right about that. So when we talk about a lifestyle, what it does, it overtakes your mind. And we're going to get into this later on because that's what it's all about. What we see overpowers our mind and we let it go into our heart, and then we're going to act upon that. So whatever you do over and over and over again, or something that you see over and over again, you're going to want that. Now, society, every time you see something on TV, it's always about selling sex. Whatever you see on TV, it's always about 9 times out of 10 selling a product. They're going to put a beautiful woman in. 9 times out of 10, right or wrong? Right. They're going to do that. Or if it's not a woman, on the reverse end, they're going to put a nice looking man there to sell something to a woman. That's what our society's done. But what happens is that we're not strong, and if we have been grown up in a family that there may have been some addictions there, you could have been abused when you were younger, all those things can come back on you because Brother Josh and I talked about this. We'll get into this, if not tonight, on the next broadcast because it's very, very important. That addiction or what you have seen in your life over that period of time, what happens is you have an identity crisis because you don't know if I'm male, if I'm female, if you have been abused. You don't know, you're confused about what's going on, and that can lead you down a road of addiction, or watching porn, whether getting magazines, going to the movies, getting on the dating sites, or whatever it may be, that can all lead down that road. And it can be very, very addictive to you. So what we want to do now, the sex addict may initially be involved in a healthy and enjoyable sexual situation. Now, you can be in a relationship with somebody and still be drawn to be addicted to sex. And it could be satisfying when you act, but something in your life, something that happened before, could be drawing you away. No matter how much you love the person or whatever it may be, but that addiction, that's just like with drugs. If you're addicted to drugs, no matter how much you have come off of, I'm just going to be very, very honest and be very, very blunt. Now, when I was very young, in my early 20s, I was strung out on cocaine for a while, all right, for many years. And after I kicked the habit and I left it behind me, I haven't tried it since then, but over, man, it has to be at least 30, it has to be over 30 years now, about 30 years. But every time I get into a situation, I can get into a situation and I can smell that drug. I can smell it. You know, because it gets so strong and that can bring back memories. But if you don't have a support system behind you to help support you in that addiction, because you never recovered. You are still recovering. You're a recovering addict, or you're recovering sex addict, or whatever it may be. You're recovering because you have never completely gonna get over that, because it's gonna always be there, especially with sex, because society is so hyped on pushing the image of sex in your face every single day. Yes.
It's a powerful what you said about every single day, Tyler, because you see on it's so easy, guys,
yeah,
to easily get on your computer
oh yeah,
and be doing